When I arrived at UC San Diego as a freshman, I came from a relatively sheltered background, had very few, if any, political or social views or ambitions, was majoring in life, and knew very little about my own ethnicity or of those around me. During my 5 years at UC San Diego here at Thurgood College, I underwent a tremendous change as a person. I believe that all of my political and social consciousness and beliefs, leadership skills, my term as a regent, political vision and ambition all stem from the Thurgood College curriculum, the Thurgood College leadership program, and what we used to generically call the Thurgood College experience. So when I graduated from Thurgood, that name meant to me integrity, justice, social, political, cultural awareness, fairness, courage, and the ability to do what it takes to do the right thing. So that's a lot in a name, and I was opposed to a name change because I didn't think any other name could possibly convey all of that as easily or clearly. So it was with mixed feelings when I first heard that Thurgood College was definitely going to be renamed Thurgood Marshall College. However, any hesitation I may have had disappeared most rapidly. For as a law student, I had the great privilege of studying Justice Thurgood Marshall, of reading his opinions, of learning of what he said and did, and getting an understanding for what Thurgood Marshall means. So in retrospect, it's quite clear to me that this one man's life and accomplishments speak louder and more eloquently to more people of all the things I held dear to the name Thurgood College. If ever there was a match made in heaven, or perhaps more appropriately here on earth, this must be it. Before I conclude, I must make one brief aside, which is I have had the unique opportunity to pass through this great institution, and as a result of this institution, to serve on the Board of Regents to vote on the very name change we're witnessing today. And it was with great pleasure several months ago that I voted on that agenda item, and it is with even greater pleasure that I participate in that event today. This is a great day in this college's history, for it is not a change of this college's views or ideology or principles, but an acknowledgement of what this college and Justice Thurgood Marshall have stood and will continue to stand for. So, although I will always be a proud Thurgood College alumnus, it is with great pleasure and honor that I become a member of the long and promising future of Thurgood Marshall College. Thank you.
I am humbled by the privilege to share with you a few brief comments during this moment of historical significance. I must admit that I'm perplexed with the burden of appropriate words to express about a man's life whose professional accomplishments alone have been subject of scores of books. Yet I know in my heart that the mere fact that we are assembled here today is the Thurgood Marshall legacy. Me, an African-American student, born in a small town of San Bernardino, California, educated in integrated public schools, attending an integrated public university, speaking in the austere presence of Miss Edelman, President of the Children's Defense Fund, and recipient of the prestigious Gandhi Peace Award. And all of us, representing different races, ages, nationalities, gender, religions, and economic diversity. We, all of us, forging a new identity in this academic crucible, acknowledging not merely a name change from Thurgood College to Thurgood Marshall, but I hope a metamorphosis of renewed awareness. An awareness that today our college is adopting the name of a great American whose sense of purpose, dedication, and standards of excellence transcend his mortality. I believe there is a profound correlation between the diversity of our presence here today and what Thurgood Marshall stood for as a scholar, a lawyer, a patriot, a humanitarian, and cornerstone in the leadership of our nation. To me, there is a sense of congruence between Thurgood Marshall's legacy and what we as students, faculty, and administrators aspire to emulate. I offer the following insights for your reflection. Thurgood Marshall, born grandson of a slave, attended and graduated from a high school and then highly segregated Baltimore, Maryland. During his undergraduate studies at Lincoln University, he was expelled for teasing and taunting students. However, through his undaunted drive, he achieved readmission, channeled his energies into debate, and became star of the Lincoln University debate team. In 1933, he graduated from Howard Law School and immediately returned as a lawyer to break the discriminatory admission practices at the University of Maryland, where he had previously been denied admission based on race. Young attorney Marshall went on to strike down similar practices at the University of Texas and Oklahoma State University, where people of color were forbidden to enroll. His efforts ushered thousands of African American students admissions into previously segregated colleges and universities. As director of the NAACP from 1940 to 1961, Mr. Marshall remained dedicated to defending the rights of poor people. His legal conquests include the famous Brown v. Board of Education decision, as well as 27 other Supreme Court challenges striking down state-sponsored discrimination. Heralded as the nation's leading constitutional lawyer, Thurgood Marshall was a principal strategist in shifting attention from striking down separate but equal education to striking down separate but equal facilities. Striking down separate but equal facilities was a dynamic catalyst initiating full-fledged integration based on constitutional rights. Thurgood Marshall's accomplishments served as the genesis to a new civil rights awareness, which led to the recognition of Rosa Parks' right to ride in the front of the bus. Throughout Justice Marshall's tenure on the Supreme Court, he remained dedicated to civil rights, women's rights, freedom of speech, and privacy issues. His name is synonymous with the right of access to a lawyer if arrested, the right not to be detained for suspicion of intent to commit a crime, the right not to be illegally searched, laws against illegal surveillance, laws against violent or otherwise improper interrogation. Although these rights were not set forth in the founding documents of our country, each and every one of us, including those who take issue with our college's new name, are quick to assert the rights established and defended by Thurgood Marshall. Today, October 22nd, based on Justice Marshall's rugged individualism and pioneering spirit, we're able to stand in the midst of our diversity united. United in the confidence that rights pioneered by him are now inalienable. Ms. Edelman, on behalf of the student body, I believe our college deserves the honor bestowed upon us by affiliation with the name Thurgood Marshall. Fellow students, every one of us, including all campus clubs and the student body as a whole, freely indulge in the civil liberties established under Thurgood Marshall's accomplishments. We are indebted to his struggle. To that extent, we have a duty to accept the challenge of excellence, synonymous with his new name, with the new name, an awareness Thurgood Marshall's eminence brings to our campus. Provost Lytle, college administrators, faculty, and staff, I believe the adoption of Thurgood Marshall as the indelible banner of our college is deeply rooted in your charge to educate, enlighten, and motivate students beyond the classroom. On January 24th, 1993, tens of millions of people throughout the world mourned the passing of Thurgood Marshall. He was a great sojourner of justice who championed equality under the law, civil liberties, and equal access to education. As the only college in the world named in memory of him, we must be ever mindful of the honor bestowed upon us in his name. We must be careful, very careful, that our campus life embodies the essence of his contributions. And lastly, we must be dutiful sentries to his principles in our lives beyond the campus, lest we be perceived as hypocrites. Again, Ms. Edelman, welcome to our campus. Provost Lytle, I thank you, my family thanks you for the honor of allowing me to share my thoughts on this historical occasion.